Roland Willits, OMS Stories, heading to that great Christmas mall in the center of the universe.
I have a story to tell, and it's around the same theme. And it worked for many, many, many years. It started with Mark, and it went to my granddaughter. And it just stopped a couple years ago. But what I found when the kids were young is we would buy them toys. And and the toys that were under the tree would be measured in the amount of feet high they went. And when you get them from all the family, and you get them from a father that absolutely loves buying Christmas gifts for the kids. And we went, they had, this is years later, but they had this place over in Castro Valley, a toy place, and it had new stuff every year. And they're closed now, but they had new stuff every year. It was just wonderful. But what I found is the kids would start opening presents. First couple of years Mark was there, and all of a sudden I would look 2 months later, and the present hadn't even been used. It was still in the box. They would get with their favorite gadgets, like some of their action characters, He-Man, and G.I. Joe, and what are some of the others?
Transformers.
Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
And these other gifts just sort of go by the wayside. So I said, man. And then I heard a song. And I said, man, I'm going to tie the two together. I said, this is something I'm going to tie together. So I said, what we're going to have is the 12 Days of Christmas. So I got to buy a whole bunch of gifts because I got to buy a toy for every day for 12 days before Christmas. And I had the security that no, they would play for that toy at least once, one whole day. That toy would be the center of their lives. So I did this for Mark every year, and we would wrap it, and I would have the first day of Christmas. And then Mom would bring in, and she would play the song, The 12 Days of Christmas. So every day we would open the present, we'd sit down, and everyone would gather around, and we'd just have a ball opening the present for the day. And it would be one present. Get that. During Christmas, how many presents you open? 10 billion. You have to go back and figure out what all the stuff is. But one present a day. And we only had one son, so it was like one for each of the kids, one, and one for Alan. And Alan. So we had 2 presents each day. And then Mark thought he was old enough, so he had a child with his lady and Grandma and I, when I patiently waited and gritted my teeth till she was old enough to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas. And then I said, we're going to the 12 days. And he looks at me and says, oh, Dad, not again. But Dad, loving to watch his kids, and now his grandkids, open presents and be able to extend it for 12 days before Christmas is awesome. So every day we'd bring our granddaughter over and then talk our kids, that's Mark and Stephanie, into coming over, and we'd sit around and we'd open one of the presents. Now, some days Mark would add a present, but most of the time I got to just be my present. That we went down to these special shops and got them for that day. And every once in a while, I'd have a gift for her, like a transformer that her dad could play with. And she'd have it for at least 3 minutes before, well, let me see that, honey. And it would disappear into the grasp of the mighty Mark. But we did this until 2 years ago, when she turned about 11, and she felt she was just too old to open presents on the 12 days of Christmas. So, Grandma and I are just going to wait till we do it with the great grandkids.
Oh,
Thank you all.
that was good.
OMS Stories returning home. That was a wonderful, successful Christmas gift shopping spree.